Welcome to the Jill on Money Show. It is Wednesday, March 15th. It is the Ides of March. Beware, Julius Caesar and anyone else. Maybe don't beware. If you are looking for a program that helps take the mystery out of your finances, you have found the right place. This is the show that tries to help you make better financial decisions. We are not judging you. We really are very concerned about where you are today, not what necessarily led you to this place. So if you need an extra set of ears and eyes on your situation, maybe you've got a particular question, maybe you've got a tax issue that's bubbling up, give us a holler. Just go to jillonmoney.com. Click the Contact Us button. Of course, let us know if you'd be willing to come on the air. While you're on the website, don't forget, you can subscribe to our news service. It's Jill on Money Live. And in just 2 weeks, we are having our first quarterly webinar. It's a Rothapalooza with Ed Slott. We're going to be rolling out more special content. So check out our new subscription service, Jill on Money Live. Okay, let's get to the program. Let's talk to Brian, who's from the Washington, D.C. area. What's going on? How can we help you out?
I've been investing for about 7 or 8 years or so. And since that time, I've had a high fee advisor. I finally went out on my own approximately 4 or 5 months ago and pretty comfortable with it overall. I have my investing through Fidelity. My wife and I have our thrift savings plan. And while I'm comfortable with most of it, the only issue I have is I'm unsure of some of the finesse-ness, if that's a word, of things like tax loss harvesting, or in this case, backdoor Roths. We have a good problem to have, and unfortunately, we are right at the limit of the Roth contribution limits. So I'm just trying to figure out the best way to go about doing backdoor Roth.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about yourselves. How much money do you earn, and what are you doing now for your retirement plans? You just mentioned TSPs. So just give us a little breakdown, like how much are you putting in? Is it Roth? Is it traditional? What's going on? So let's start with first your total compensation together.
Total income for the two of us is $275 a year, but right around 225 of that is taxable. I have a big chunk of non-taxable income. So just above the limit currently for Roth contributions.
But let me ask you something. So you have 220 that's taxable, but do you have any, do you own a home? Do you claim the standard deduction, or do you itemize?
We own a home. We currently are doing the standard deduction, though we're probably pretty close to itemizing. Next year we might, if we have a little bit higher charitable contributions.
I mean, when I look at it, I'm just looking at my Ed Slott tax planning worksheets here. And so just so everybody knows, the phase out limit for IRA contributions, if you're married filing jointly, is the range 218,000 to 228. So if you guys have 220 of taxable, okay, let's even say 225 just in case, right? And the standard deduction is 27.7. You are so close. You might be able to do it, okay? You might be able to do the contribution to a Roth. But is there an easier way? Do you have Roth accounts available to you through work?
We do. We currently we're both contributing to the Roth TSP, and then my wife receives traditional TSP match from her work.
Okay. And how much are you putting into those Roth TSPs? What's the contribution amount or percentage? Are you maxing them out? Are you putting in, the more than 22.5 this year? So you're putting in 22.5 each?
No, we're putting in mine, it's about 12 to 13,000 a year, and hers, it's about 6,000 a year. And then we're doing our standard Roth IRAs as well.
Oh, well then, but what's the difference? So why not just forget that, don't freak out about the Roth just in case you make too much money, and then why not just do it through the TSP Roth?
I hadn't really thought of that, probably because there's only a couple options inside of the TSP, and it can get a lot more in terms of different index funds.
Of course, that just means more trouble to get into. I mean, the thrift savings plan is a good plan. It really is. And it's affordable. And I don't know if it's such a big deal here. To me, that seems like a simple way around the issue. And then you don't have to worry if all of a sudden, let's just say that one of you, I don't know, you probably don't, do you get bonuses? Is it, is there a potential that there's an upside surprise in your income this year?
There might be. I might have a promotion in work later in the year. My wife will probably have a large pay bump, just a yearly pay bump later as well. So I'm giving you the lower limit, but it may increase by potentially up to, I don't know, 15 a year more.
Mm-hmm. How much money do you have right now in your Roth IRAs at Fidelity?
In mine, I have 78,000, and in my wife's, she has 51,000.
And then what about in the TSPs? What do you have in those?
I have 67,000, and she just started her employer, so she has about 2,000.
Okay. And is there old retirement floating around for her because she just started at this employer?
There's her last 401k that we're looking to, I suppose, roll into the TSP.
How much money is in that old 401k?
About 9,000.
Is that traditional or is that Roth?
It's both. It's about 7 Roth and 2 traditional.
You know, you can do a couple of different things. You can roll it. Do you actually have a traditional IRA someplace?
We opened them up for Fidelity to be able to potentially start the backdoor.
Mark, what's the best way around this? What's the best way to make this happen? Do you have to roll this old 401k over to actually then convert it, or can you convert it where it is?
Depends on the plan. Some plans will let you convert it within the workplace plan. So that depends on the plan. But if he can't do that, then yeah, he would have to roll the pre-tax into a traditional IRA and then just convert it into the Roth, or roll the pre-tax into the current pre-tax plan. But it's not a huge amount of money, so I would probably just convert it.
Yeah, I would too. Now, for you work in the armed forces. What's your pension situation? What's it look like for you?
So in approximately 4 years, if I retire, I'll start receiving 50% of my highest 3 years, and that starts the day I retire.
Which you plan on doing. And
Yes.
so then what happens? Tell me, this is exciting. So what do you do then? You just go out, and do you have a skill that you can transfer to the world, the wonderful world of our labor market here in the United States?
I do. I'm some blend of a data scientist and data engineer, so I'm looking to get into that once I get out.
God. You're going to kick ass. You're going to not only collect your pension, but you're also going to probably double your income, I bet. Oh my God, that's amazing. Do you guys have kids?
We do. 4 kids between the ages of 12 and 7 months.
Oh my God. What about college for them? Do you get one of them get like that GI Bill action?
Yes, you can split it. My son's going to get most of it. I didn't have a 529 going for him, but then the 3 daughters, 5, 2, and 7 months, I have 529s going for each one of them.
How much money's in there?
For the 3 daughters, about 10,000, 4,000, and 1,000 or so. I'm doing about 200 a month for each one of them.
That's great. And do you guys own a home or do you rent? What's your situation right now?
We do. We've owned our house here in Northern Virginia for the past 4 years or so.
What's it worth, you figure?
It's worth about $650.
Mortgage outstanding?
Yes, we owe about $383.
About. And what's the rate on that mortgage?
2.375.
Oh my God. What is the term? Is it 15 year, 30 year? What is it?
It's a 30.
2.375%. Is that what you said?
Yes, ma'am.
Good Lord. You're never leaving this house. This is why the housing market is kind of standing still, because people like Brian are sitting on these low mortgage rates. Really, what is the incentive for you to ever move?
Because my wife wants to move somewhere warmer in the future, maybe. I don't know. I
Oh
told her
my
we couldn't
God.
move.
No, not yet. Not yet. No way. I'll give you the same speech I gave to someone earlier, which is you can move someplace if you can find a way to use all the equity in your home and not get another mortgage. So, wherever that might be for you guys, and I bet you don't want to live there. So stay where you are for now. Any other debt that's floating around for you?
No debt, only mortgage.
Okay, so I think that the game plan here is that you've got these Roths, you've got a traditional IRA, we convert the old plan. I don't think you should worry about the contribution limit on your Roth IRA because you have Roth accounts available to you. Just use them through work and don't worry about the choices. It's fine. And then what about extra money? Like now you're putting money, you've got the money going into retirement, you got the money going into 529. Is there any other extra cash flow that you guys have, or is that pretty much like that's it?
We have another $2,500 or so a month going to an after-tax brokerage account too.
How much is in there?
I just started it about a year ago, so about 28,000 right now.
And what about cash on hand, just emergency reserve?
Our emergency reserve, I consider it 15, which might be a little low. We have some additional cash as well of about 30 that I'm probably just going to start dollar cost averaging in, but our emergency fund is about 15.
I mean, it's hard to get fired. You'd really have to do something very bad, wouldn't you? Like espionage or something. That would be a bad thing. Something like that. And do you feel like your wife's situation is consistent, safe, like as safe as you could be at this point?
Yes and no. She's a federal government employee, and so that's pretty safe, but she's also under her probationary period. So it should be safe, but it's not guaranteed safe for 2 years.
Okay. So, I mean, I wouldn't go crazy putting all your emergency reserve into brokerage. I would keep some extra cash floating around just to get her through this period, and then once you have that little base there, then sure, put money into the brokerage and put money into the 529 plans. Now, when you're in the armed services, I believe you have to have your estate documents done. So I'm going to presume you've got that, right?
I do have them done, and we have term life insurance as well.
Okay, great. If you are wondering about something going on in your financial life, Mark and I are here for you. We love this part of our job. We love talking to you. We love answering your financial questions. And I'm especially grateful because your calls, your emails, your participation in this community allowed me to write my book, The Great Money Reset. It is really because of you. You helped me come up with the idea. I just created the framework. So that's the beauty of this community. We learn from each other. If you wouldn't mind, leave us a rating and review on Apple and do something nice for someone else today. Change your work, change your wealth, change your life. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you tomorrow.